It's not going live. I just streamed last night. There we go.
It's got to be
All
a
right.
glitch, right?
Hey, everybody, what's up? This is Phil from Zade Comics. I am here live, and I am the creator, writer of Magic Hop, which is live now on Indiegogo. We just hit 4K, so thank you for all our supporters. Check out the page. But today we are here to talk to Preston Asevedo, the creator, the artist on Doc Salem, a new comic that is on Indiegogo right now. The description or the link is in the description below, and we're going to get right into it. Thank you for joining me, Preston. We're finally live. We got this all set up here. A little hiccup, a little bit late, but how are you doing? Thanks for coming on.
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. Again.
Yeah. So, yes, definitely. So let's talk about how you got into indie comics, and how are you here today with this book on Indiegogo right now?
I'll be honest, like the mainstream kind of didn't want me, I guess. But then again, I wasn't ready back then to do the mainstream stuff. I never really wanted to do mainstream comics. When I kind of just wanted to do my own thing, like my own characters and stuff like that. And I've worked on a bunch of projects, but like this is the one that you know, like everybody's got that one, and I guess this is
Yeah,
mine.
sure,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, you have that idea that you've been sitting on for a while. And I think
yeah.
as a creator myself, the longer you actually sit on it, you'll kind of get anxious and be like, "Oh man, this is something I really want to do. When's it going to happen? Time's not right." And you'll get nervous about it and kind of be bummed out that it's not progressing as you'd like it to. But I feel like that time frame actually lets it ferment and become an even better world because you know it so well now.
Yeah, well, that and you get to a point to where you're ready, and your skill level is there. So when you do put it out, it's going to happen. And
Oh
I
yeah,
think
definitely.
that's where this is at right now. Um,
So are you the writer as well as the artist on this?
yes, but my
Oh,
fiance
awesome. So
would
you're doing,
argue that point as far as spelling and grammar goes.
yeah, same with me, man. Not the best with that, but uh, but yeah, it's all about storytelling, getting those ideas down there, and creating this bad boy. And I love writers that also draw, artists that also write. It makes for an awesome, cohesive story. Now,
I think you're
where did
right,
this kind
actually.
of? Oh yeah, definitely. Now, where did this story kind of come out of?
You know, it's funny. Like comics now I find them to be too serious. They don't have that same magic that
Hmm.
that they had when I got into comics. And I just want to recapture that. And like like what I'm saying is, like, you read a comic nowadays, I don't get much inspiration from it. You know, and I think when you overdo a book with adult themes, I think it stops being like something fun, and it's got
Yeah,
like way too much reality involved into it, and you lose that escapism, that fantasy, and that and people don't want that. That's why
yeah,
they go see movies and they read comics. They read magic
yeah.
book.
This is sure. Yeah, it's all about escapism. I think you're right. Like you get right now, all of the stories that the big companies are telling are very convoluted.
Yeah,
A lot of the writers aren't hired because they're comic writers. Maybe they want to be television writers and they want to have a movie put out and they're like, "Oh, I could write a comic." Or it's like a lot of it now is who you know and how many followers you have and what opinions you have to make my company look good to the public. And that's not what we're about. We're about creating these stories for escapism,
yeah.
so people can get
No,
away from
you're
those
absolutely right.
things. Yeah.
Actually,
Mhm.
for the first time in history, corporations aren't looking out for the bottom line. They're looking at politics. It doesn't matter how much money
Yeah.
they lose. It just matters like how politically correct they are, which is crazy. Like,
Yep.
it's just
Yeah.
nuts.
So
I
let's
just
take a
don't get
look
it.
at this bad boy. Doc Salem. Cool logo right off the bat. I dig it.
Thank you.
And as we scroll down here, this cover just sums it up at all. Like this character reminds me of an old retro character, something that would come out around the times of like almost like the Green Hornet. He's that type
Exactly.
of superhero.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big gloves, the boots. I love it. And you have this little flashback area in the sepia tone, which I love when you do that in the actual story. We'll get into that. But yeah, tell me about Doc Salem. What's your little pitch going on? Get people interested in this comic.
So Doc Salem is really a continuation of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, or retelling in some cases. Um, that's one of my favorite movies, by the way. I'm a
Yeah.
horror buff, and well, classic horror. And what it is it's the story of Victor von Frankenstein. Like, as you know, he creates Frankenstein, and Frankenstein goes crazy, torments
Hmm.
the villagers. Well, in this case, like, he beats the hell out of Doc's, well, Victor, and so Igor saves his life by injecting him with uh, Victor's elixir of life, the same elixir they injected his monster with. Um, and what happens is Igor's Igor. He's not the doctor, so he doesn't know the complete process. So it takes longer for it to work on Dr. Frankenstein because there was no electricity involved or anything like that. So decades later, he wakes up. He's horribly scarred. Igor's ancient, and the he wakes up into a world that isn't his own. And because of the horrors his monster wrought while he was sleeping, the name Frankenstein is outlawed, and if he was to come forward as Victor von Frankenstein, he would he would be immediately charged with crimes against humanity, put to death, or locked up forever. And so he takes the guise of Doc Salem, you know, and hunts down rogue monsters and stuff like that.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I really dig the concept. Now, is Franken like the Frankenstein's monster? Is he going to be like the big bad? Is
He,
he running around now?
well, that's the thing. Like, he's supposed to be the secret villain, I guess. That's going to come later in the
Yeah.
series, and I
Hmm.
guess he's not much of a
Sure.
secret anymore. But but the deal is I love there was like just like I was saying there was a magic like when I first started collecting comics and that hooked you in and brings you in. It was fun. It was escapism. That's the same reason why I like old black and white horror too. Like
Yeah.
so that's why I made sure to make each flashback seem like you're watching an old black and white movie. Yeah, with the
Yeah.
film
Sure.
grain and the lines, all that kind of
Yeah, I
stuff. And the
love
strength.
that. It's like very flashbacks of like Reanimator here. Love
Yeah,
that like imagery, the
yeah.
glowing of this elixir being the only thing that is it's standing out. It's a great art direction and layout for this page.
Thank you. I
And I
appreciate
love
that.
the use of the color change specifically during flashbacks. And like you said, it brings you back to those old movies, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
it's like this hasn't been a chore. You know what I'm you know
Yeah.
where I'm going
Oh,
with
that's
that?
great,
Like
man. Hmm.
sometimes
Yeah.
you work on a project and it's like, oh, I can't wait till I get this done and I'll collect a paycheck. Whatever.
Yeah.
This was nothing like that. Like when I created this, I was 100% sure this is exactly what I want to do. And there's no paycheck involved. So,
Hmm. Yeah.
so it's
Now, are you
it's
also doing the lettering for this book?
I am, yes, and I'm a
I
stickler for
love this
lettering a little
right
bit.
here.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
cool.
I don't like
Up
lettering the
there.
fall on top of the character. It's got to work with the story, I guess. Yeah. So
Hmm.
I don't know. It's weird
Yeah, definitely.
obsessions. It's craziness.
No, yeah, I letter all my stuff. And I think it helps as I'm the writer of the project, it is, I'll always say, now that I'm lettering myself, it's like the last editorial process because I could
Yeah.
look through everything and tweak the dialogue as I'm putting it down. And doing it for the past few months, I always already see myself getting better and really admiring this awesome sound effect speech bubble with the monster screaming. That looks real cool. Adding, it adds its own voice to the characters.
Yes, exactly.
Hmm.
Like it's
Dig
fun to
that.
be creative with the word bubbles. Like you said, like
Hmm.
you notice like the monster every time he speaks, like his word bubble is completely screwy. Yeah, it's not the
Yeah, it's an
standard.
art within itself.
Yeah. Now I'm going to be honest. I'm not a fast letterer.
Yeah.
I take way too much time to get that done. I'm a quick
Hmm.
penciler. Like I can sling lead, like crazy. But when it comes to lettering, not so, and coloring, I'm not a quick colorist. Yeah.
Now, are these pages drawn digitally or traditionally?
Everything I do is traditional. Even
Really?
my
That's
inker,
awesome.
my inker, he inks traditionally, and
So, are
he
you selling pages for this book?
I
Traditional
am.
pages?
It's part of a tier.
Oh, great.
But he
Awesome. Yeah, well, we can get into
on
those.
the
That's we can run down your tiers for a second.
okay, yeah, let's
Um,
go.
Yeah, you have your featured perk here, which it's good to have a featured perk so everybody knows what to jump on, what you're excited about, and already have 5 people that got these. That is great out
Well,
of 50.
the thing is I usually do every year. I'm a painter too. Like that's what I'm
Yeah,
known for in the circuit, is being doing acrylic paintings on canvas and stuff like that,
sure.
like sci-fi stuff. But every year I run a special, and it's usually $100. You get a fully painted commission. Well, this year, since I'm running the Kickstarter, I mean the Indiegogo, I
Yeah,
figured make it a tier.
yeah,
So
that's
bump
great,
it up
man.
by $25, and you don't just get the commission, you also get the book and a bunch of other stuff to go with it. So yeah,
Yeah, that's great. You get some awesome art and the book, which the book is, if you guys haven't seen yet, it's 48 pages, fully ccolored. Um,
48
that's gonna
pages of
that's
story and
Yeah,
eight
and then
pages
you
of
have
color.
8 pages. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
of extra art there. So 56 pages in this book. 125 with the commission. That's a great deal. And we also have digital copies, which is awesome for always good for overseas backers. They don't want to deal with the shipping. That is really good. On my own campaign, I did that also. The book for 20, that's a great price considering most books right now on Indiegogo that are in the indie community, in the CG community, are running for like $25.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing this for 20, a 56-page book, that is great. And tell me about this ash can here. Got a book and ash can.
I The cover of the ash can's on there, like at the bottom, but with the ash can, like I loved when Image brought back ash cans, or they brought like made ash cans a collector's item,
Oh,
in
I
the
see right here.
'90s, and
Hmm.
and I was a big fan of Dale Cohen and like guys like that, and
Yeah,
it was cool because you got to see like how he drew Pitt, or how
yeah.
he structured
Hmm.
his pages, and I learned so much from that, so I figured um, yeah, why not throw an ash can in there? Yeah, have some pages of the story, walk through the process, do the the character sketches and all that kind of stuff in it.
So this is like a kind of like making of book.
Yes, kind of. Yeah,
Awesome. Yeah.
and it all comes
And
signed.
oh,
John
nice.
Hay.
And is it going to be regular comic size, or is it going to be a little bit smaller? Because I know sometimes ash cans are smaller than a comic.
The ones I ran into in the '90s were smaller, so it's probably going to be
Yeah.
manga size. Like what
Cool.
was it? It's like 5 by 7 or something like that. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I dig that. Yeah, I always love the ash can. It's just more material for your audience to soak up,
yeah,
and I always push. People are gonna get a book and an ash can is available. Pick that up so you get this as much information as possible. Especially coming from me as a creator, I love to see how other things are made and how the either the writing process, the drawing process, and them together come to make this book. So definitely check out the ash can. Got the collector's pack, which is I'm assuming kind of like you get a bunch of them, right?
Yeah, it's that the first collector's pack is I actually stole that from one of you guys.
Yeah,
It's two
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 books,
bucks and two
two
ash
Ashcans.
cans, one for
Sweet.
to put away and resell whenever it becomes $1 million property.
Now this
and
one comes with the book, the Ashcan alternate, and the three alternate covers.
yes,
Really
and
cool, and we could see those right here. I really dig these. Totally
yeah,
different art styles.
yeah. I had three of my buddies do it. Two of them are pretty well known too. And then I had to
Yeah,
throw my
that's awesome.
cover in there too.
This
That's
one's super
actually the
cartoony. This
colors.
Johnny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
he's a really good artist, Johnny Segura. Yeah,
Yeah, sweet. Alternate covers, digging that. Retailer pack, great. 8 books, two ash cans. So if you guys have a store, you could sell them there. Perfect. And the Doc Salem fan club. Tell me about this one.
so like I said, like Doc Salem's everything good about comics, So what was great about comics back in like the '60s, the '50s and '60s, was you had like Captain Midnight, right? And
Oh yeah.
Captain Mid. I've probably never read a Captain Midnight book, but the idea of Captain Midnight, like they had the Captain Midnight's fan club, and it came with a decoder and
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff like that. So you could actually, like you could decode secret messages that it would be on a radio show or whatever. And so I want to do that with Doc Salem, put some secret messages inside the book, and only like the members of the fan club would be able to decode them and see what's going on. And also,
Dude,
I've
that's
been
genius. I
pondering,
love that.
yeah, and I've been pondering like because like the first appearance of Captain Britain, they
Hmm.
had a page in there where you can cut out the mask and run around as Captain Britain, right? That's for kids. So
Yeah.
I'm actually pondering doing something like that too. But anyway, with the fan club, you get the book, you get the I think the Death by Tentacles T-shirt. Um,
Yeah.
the, you get a membership card, and on the back of the card, because I could not get a decoder ring or a decoder for a good price, um, you got a decoder on back of the membership card to go ahead and decode anything that I put inside the book. Yeah,
That's genius, man. That's so fun. You
it
know,
is right.
Everyone's
Yeah,
gonna love that. That's something you can introduce now to younger generations where it's like, oh, this used to be like that back in
yeah,
the 50s, and bringing it back. And that's nostalgia for people even older than us.
yeah.
That is super smart. And I totally want to steal that from you
I
for
just want it to
some
be
future
fun.
project.
Like that's
Yeah.
one thing that's missing from comics is it's not fun like it used to be. And I think
Yeah.
we I think comics are too geared towards like late teens,
Uh-huh.
and like you kind of cutting out the kids out of that a little bit, And I want it to where I want it to be like Madman, like Mike Allred's Madman, where whether
Yeah.
you're 5 years old or you're 25 years old, you can read the book and you get something out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Super cool. I do have a question though. Does Doc Salem ever put his goggles down on his face?
Probably not. I just dig the goggles. Like one of my other characters I made, they had goggles too, so I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
let's throw them in there.
So this one piece of comic book history. What is extra about this? Oh, I see. Original page of Dr. Salem.
Yeah,
Awesome. Love the original art, and that's going to be penciled and inked and sent to you.
no,
You
no, just
drawing on
pencil.
11
I
by.
did pencils.
Oh,
Yeah,
just pencils? Okay,
yeah.
cool. So it's inked. You send a scan, I guess, to, or
Hmm.
do you ink it yourself?
No, I had to kind of train my inker. I know
Yeah,
that sounds weird, and it probably sounds a little bit like I'm an asshole, but I'm not. I'm kind of picky, and this guy was really really good, but like
Mhm.
every art, I guess every penciler is like really picky when it comes to their work. But
Sure.
so it wasn't. I mean, this guy catches on so quick too. So his name's Aaron Wolf, the Wolf Man. He's really good, and
Cool.
but yeah. So whatever he does with his inks is up to him. But with some of my pages, I'm going to be getting rid of those. And
That's awesome. Original art is great. Just having it
well, that's one
as the
thing that's
pencils is
missing from
even
comic.
cooler.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. And I'm always pushing people to do, if they're in comics, comics and indie comics, they should have their artists do it traditionally because it helps so much with your campaign selling that original art.
Yeah.
And we got over here just Rican in his comics. Yo, what's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. We are just talking to Preston about his new book, Doc Salem. It's an awesome book on Indiegogo right now. It's if you love monsters and action, you're gonna love this. And even those the retro superhero books that are just fun and beat 'em up books, it looks like this is looking really cool. And the thing I love is you put that this is book one, so we know we're going to be getting more of Doc Salem in the future.
Oh, there's gonna be a ton. Yeah, and I made it a
Yeah,
flexi goal. You know, whether it makes its goal or not, it's still gonna get
yeah,
paid. So
yeah.
yeah,
And you, what do you got? 60 days on this, right? You did the 60-day campaign, so we got 55
yeah,
days left. You keep doing the circuit, keep pushing it. What I did during my campaign, mine's still going on, but every day, I do like a countdown tweet. I don't know if you've seen. So like
no, never. I gotta.
day
Yeah,
yeah, day six, I'll put, and I'll post something new. See, like day six of, Doc Salem. Look at these new pencils, and you can post a picture of some of your pencils because you don't have any on here. I think that would be
yeah,
a good idea to share those on Twitter, and even, if you have some, um, even the version of this page,
yeah.
post it up on here pencil, like scan it in
Well,
and just show the pencil so people know.
I'm going to be leaking a bunch of these pages out on Twitter because the book's not
Yeah,
really finished.
definitely.
So what I'm doing is,
Hmm.
as the campaign goes on, we're going to be wrapping the book up and getting it done, and like tweeting out, some of the newer pages and some of the older
Yeah,
pages too, to go and show people what they get. Now, one thing I learned this from a few people actually, especially like one of my influences, Arthur Adams and Angel Medina.
yeah.
But Arthur Adams, he draws at uh 19 by 24.
Oh,
So
wow. Yeah,
yeah, that's what I draw at too. So each page that I penciled is like within that like 15 by 23. It works out to be able to
that's
fit in the
sick.
format.
Yeah,
Yeah. So these are real pages. I mean, they're huge. You're not getting a 11
hell
by
yeah.
17 page when you get one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really really cool. What else was I gonna say? So this T-shirt, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
This comes with one of the perks. Really digging this pin up here, this splash page. I like that.
Yeah.
Now, how many monsters are we gonna see Doc Salem fighting in this first issue?
That's a good question. There's gonna be a pretty good bit. Like the underworld is ruled by monsters, which means like you're like it's kind of like the mob, except it's factioned off. Like
Cool.
you have ghouls taking care of this, and you have like vampires, and
Yeah.
werewolves and all kinds of stuff like that. So I'm trying to
So a
introduce
lot
all of
to
the
look
gold,
forward
like
to.
yeah, I'm trying to introduce all of the classic monsters, but I also want to include a bunch of like the Lovecraftian monsters too. Like Cthulhu and
Yeah, yeah.
Dagon, of course. Dagon, it's first page. But yeah, I just like I said, I want it to be fun. I want it to be as creative as I can possibly make it. And his pistols, like Doc Salem's pistols, one's named Wrath and the other one's name is Ruin. And when he uses them, he uses like explosive silver rounds to go ahead and fight the beasties with. Yeah.
That's so
Or
cool. Yeah, I
he
love
might
this.
have
It's like
wooden cartridges in there or whatever.
that's so cool. Yeah, it's like mixing, Frankenstein with a pulp hero, like the
Yes.
Shadow, which I love the Shadow. And this is really cool getting back to that. Back when people were like, yeah, of course he uses guns because guns are gonna, they're your line of defense. And he's got special
Yes.
cartridges for the guns. That's really cool. Or
Well, I like to call him the
um,
Batman of the supernatural world. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, definitely. That's sick. And then
He's
we
got
have
a
here you
car
can
called
get
the
the
Mephisto.
cover.
Yeah. Yeah,
What does he
my
have?
cover, the main cover. He's got a
Yeah,
car and it's called the Mephisto. It's
that's
actually
great,
based on a
man.
VW bug. But yeah, I mean the book's like packed full of stuff, dude. It's crazy. And there's gonna be
No,
another
that's
character
great.
introduced in there called Gary the Hell Knight. And it's kind of my version of like a combination of Hellstorm, Etrigan, and Ghost Rider,
Hmm.
except Gary the Hell Knight, he carries a trident, but he drives a Vespa.
Yeah,
So a Vespa from hell.
dude, you're just speaking my language. I love Etrigan. Etrigan is
Oh, mine
top
too.
five favorite
Well, you're a
hero, man.
writer, so you know, like to be able to write Etrigan, you have to be a really good writer, like really
Oh yeah,
smart. You know, it's not an
yeah.
easy character to do.
I have a character that speaks in iambic pentameter, like Shakespearean talk.
Mm.
So he's going to be in my next project. I'm really excited about that because I love Etrigan. As a writer, I really like poetry also. So that's
Yeah,
kind of like me infusing that into my comics. So that's going to
yeah.
be
Not
fun.
not
But
anybody can write that. Like you need to really have some skills to go ahead and throw down on
yeah,
stuff like that, dude.
yeah, it takes some time. I was writing the narration and dialogue for his 4-page short story, and like I had to rewrite it multiple times because I'm like, oh, that's not perfect iambic pentameter.
Yeah, yeah. No,
So
I
it
get it.
does,
I mean,
man.
I redid the cover 3 times before I was like, yes, that's it.
Yeah, yeah. And so you have so this is going to be pencils also, right, for this cover?
No, that's I inked the cover, so
Oh, sweet,
and
nice.
so that's all. You'll get the full. Well, I have two versions, but this version is completely inked and you know, not no, a pencil version is set on the side. So what I did
Hmm.
was I penciled it, and so you don't ruin your pencils. You want to put another Bristol on top of it and ink over it. So
Yeah. And then they're not just getting the book with this; they're getting the book, ash can, the T-shirt, and the fan club ID card, which is awesome.
yes,
That is a that is you get a lot when you get this cover. I love that. Um, yeah, this is looking really clean, man. I'm digging the project. I'm digging the what I wanted to talk to you about is like the world building. You said that there's so much in this world, and you could totally tell just from talking to you, just from looking
mm,
at this page. And that's a key thing when you're writing something that you're so passionate about. You could just see it right off the bat that you're in this, and you're living in
yeah.
this world all the time. So hats off to you, man. I dig that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hmm. Hmm. Um, let's see here. Now, what
Who's
were you said? Oh, go on.
no, no. I'm good. I was
No,
go ahead, sir.
I wanted to talk about some of your your influences. Like you said, you like Dale Keown from the '90s. Who else what were some of the comics you were reading back when you were a lad coming up?
I two of my well, I, I've always been into vintage books, yeah, and two of my major influences I mean, I was always into comics, but once I seen Arthur Adams's work, I mean, that was it. I was done. I was like,
Yeah,
this guy.
yeah.
And
There's artists
John
like that, man.
Burns, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well,
he's awesome.
and that's one thing that I miss is that I was talking to the other guy about that too. Like now there's house styles. Well, house styles started in the '90s, but I noticed like back in the day, like everybody had their own thing going on. You had Bob Hall, you had John Byrne, you had Arthur Adams, and you had of course the King Kirby, and all these guys. I mean, they were like night and day when it came to their styles, and it was
Yeah,
everybody had something to contribute to comics. Now everybody's like, well, that guy's making money. I'm gonna copy his stuff. And
yeah.
that's kind of crappy. I don't know.
Yeah, and like you were saying, that started in the '90s when I think it's a lot of it was when you had the artists really becoming these superstars in the '90s, Jim Lee, McFarlane,
Yeah,
and even after they left and went to Image, started Image, you had people like editorial being like, "Oh, you don't draw enough like Jim Lee," and that's what we're looking for. And you get those
yes,
house styles, it puts the creator in a box, and
yeah,
then you're not freely open to create what you want to create. I think that's a great thing in what we're doing here in CG, that everybody has their own style, and you
that's one
could
thing I
get
love about that too.
yeah,
Like
it's
I
great.
noticed your book. Like I was looking at the artwork. Like it's there's nothing like it
Yeah,
in,
thanks,
in
man.
CG. You know
Yeah,
what
that's
I'm
my
saying?
brother.
Like it's completely original. So I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool. You know?
and even like genres and story, right? So my book Magic Cop, it's a magic story. If you look at any other magic books that are coming out, Um, like Door Kickers. I don't know if you saw that one. That one's a like military magic book where the military team uses magic. Or you have like
Okay.
Wart the Wizard, which is totally a child, like a book for kids, and it's drawn
Mhm.
in that child style of art that they're going to be sucked into. So even with the writing, you could have the same genre, and it could be totally different stories. You can compare this to Graveyard Shift, right? They're both monster
Yeah.
action
Yeah.
books, but the art style is totally different, and you could tell the storytelling is totally different here, where you
Yeah.
have like these big zoomed out shots. I love, this action splash panel right here, and just the aesthetic in general, where he's more of that retro, that pulp character.
Well, I
Um,
got to be honest. Like, I
so
used to hate
yeah,
backgrounds until I started
oh
really
yeah,
getting into perspectives and how they worked and all that.
hmm
And then I was like, now I love doing zoomed out shots
yeah.
with all this creating all this space within a panel. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's great for action sequences. I know a lot of artists. I have a friend who's an amazing artist, and she doesn't want to do backgrounds at all. She's like,
yeah.
"Yeah, I'll do a book with you, but you got to find a background artist." And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's it's hindering to yourself as an artist if you don't go through the motions to learn that stuff, because then you do have to rely on a background artist. You do have to
Yeah.
pay that extra money for them, and you don't
Well, it
want to
never
have to
fits
do that.
either. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
look at back when all the old work where I was struggling with backgrounds, and you could obviously
yeah,
see I was struggling with backgrounds. Like I wasn't
yeah.
fooling anybody. You know. Um, but yeah, I mean, and that's another thing too. Like stories are so crazy. Like I actually had a back one of them, like Shinobi Sasquatch.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, a
man.
Sasquatch that turns into a werewolf that's also a ninja. You know what I'm
hmm
saying?
And speaking of like Dale Keown, like Rob's art on there is totally like Platt and Dale Keown.
Yes, exactly.
He's got
Yeah.
that muscle structure down. Rob is a phenomenal artist. I actually had planned, I think we have plans to work on a 4-page story. As of now, he might be a little too busy, but
Mhm.
Rob's a great guy. I've been talking to him for a while, and that book looks awesome.
It
I can't
does,
wait for that
dude.
one.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah.
yeah,
And Monster MD, that looks fantastic too. Like it's all fun. Like
yeah.
nothing's like
hmm
you know. That's what I love about all this. It's all fun. You know, nobody's
hmm
trying to do something stupid.
Yeah, it's not people standing around talking. People are building a really cool world, getting people right into the action.
Yeah,
Um,
nobody's sitting in a cafe like taking a cup of coffee.
right. Is there anything else you want to let the audience know about your book and your campaign? Anything at all?
um, back Doc Salem,
Oh
so
yeah,
that we can
man.
do Doc Salem too. And
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
And if anybody's
Yeah,
got any input they want to give me as far as what I should need for a tier or something like that, that would be good. Yeah.
yeah.
This is one of my first campaigns that I've run on Indiegogo, so I'm completely new at this. So yeah, any constructive criticism, I'm open to it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think you should. I love that you're going to leak out those other pages on Twitter.
Mhm.
And when you do that, I think you should put it in your updates on your campaign page also, because
Oh yeah.
updating like maybe once a week,
Mhm.
once every other week, keeping those consistent updates so people will see that update number going up and they can come back here. It also sends an email to all of the people that have backed that you did do an
Okay.
update, so you could keep leaking
Like
out
every time I
pages
leak
like
out a
that.
page, just say like, "Hey, just leak the page on Twitter" or something like that, or um,
Yeah, so you could put the link to the actual tweet if you wanted to, and then
oh,
also
cool.
that
All right.
picture. So, whenever you're doing that, just keep, because not everybody that's backing you is on Twitter. So
Yeah.
you want to keep that information that you're spitting out there going, making sure it's going to everybody that's backing you.
Okay. Excellent.
I, I I know a lot of people that do critique. They'll come on and critique your page on like their own stream or whatever. I know a couple of my buddies are always like, "Oh, this person's not updating us," but you're already off to a great start. They always dog on campaigns that don't have their page count right at the beginning of their
Mhm.
description. So you already got that down. So you'll have a
Yeah.
breeze, man.
From what I was told was just be as clear as possible. Don't let anybody assume anything. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah, definitely.
what I'm trying to do.
Shout outs to Simon, Sim in the house. Awesome artist here. He's doing Blood Hunt.
Oh,
And
cool.
go everybody that's in the chat watching this, check out Blood Hunt on Indiegogo also. He's a great creator. He's working on a lot of stuff. He says he drops the link for Dr. Salem. Thanks for that, Sim. And yeah, if you don't mind, Preston, I'm just going to
Mhm.
talk a little bit about Magic Cop, do a
I'll
little
go
update
for it,
for
dude. Yeah,
people.
definitely.
Thanks, man. Yeah. I don't know if you took a look at the page here, but Magic Cop, this is my first campaign also. This is episode 1, Drop Dead Legs. It's a 1980s kind of like Miami Vice mixed with monsters, so it's perfect with that this show that we're doing, Doc Salem and Magic Cop here. We got werewolves, we got witches, mermaids, all that spooky stuff. Just in time for Halloween. And we just got to our first stretch goal. If you guys didn't hear, we hit 4K, and that means we're upping the paperweight of the book, so you get that professional feel. And we just put out in the updates today. Maybe I don't know if you saw this, Preston, but we have this awesome. Oh no, it's not here. Well, it's we have this. Oh, actually, I could let me refresh this. It's
Yeah.
did you see the that Magic Cop blockheads little figure that I tweeted out today? Let me see if it's here now. Here it is. Oh, there it is. This
Oh,
little
cool.
blockheads guy. So
Is that made out of
blockheads
clay?
is a website. Yeah, yeah. So it's this website of this guy that just makes indie comic characters, CG characters into like this little template,
Uh-huh.
and you could print them out from his website and build it yourself. So I contacted him a while ago because he's a big part of the community. He loves helping out campaigns. So you could probably do this too and see if he'll make you a
Oh, that's
Doc Salem
fantastic.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he just finished this up, and we're announcing, since we reached our stretch goal, that everybody that backs the book at a physical tier is going to get the template so they can make their own little Magic Comp guy.
Oh, that's
Super
crazy.
cool.
No, that's
Yeah,
exactly
and
what I'm talking about though. Like having something there that I know it destroys the book. you know, but it like having something like that included in the book. That way you can cut it out and like make it into your little action, like own little action
yeah,
figure and stuff like that.
this one we're not going to actually put in the book as a page. We'll just like put it on top. Like it'll be in the package, so you'll get a
Oh,
sheet
okay.
and the book, and whatever else you get, so you don't have to cut anything up out of the pages. But yeah, we're super excited about that, and we're on track for our next stretch goal, which is we're adding in some bookmarks. I love the concept of the stretch goals because it's like the rising tide. Like more people come in, and then
Uh-huh.
everybody reaps the benefit from it because
Yeah.
everyone's getting bookmarks, everyone's getting pins, everyone's getting little blockhead guy.
Or
So
extra
definitely check.
pages.
Oh yeah, extra pages. That's great. Now yeah, check out Magic Hop. We'll go back over to Doc Salem before we wrap it up. Now, did you have
It's
any
really
stretch
cool.
goals in mind yet, or is that too
I
early
do,
for
but
you
I
right now?
think they're really far out there. Like I'm not even sure I'm gonna make that, but
Yeah.
but I just figured I might put something up there just in case. Yeah, but
No, it's always to have those goals that you're searching for. Oh yeah, you
yeah,
got extra pages. Cool.
yeah.
That's
Like
great, man.
I want to. Yeah, I just want to have more. like but then again, you still have to pay your colors, you have to pay your inker and stuff like that. So yeah, I wish I could. I wish I was talented enough and quick enough to go ahead and do the whole book by myself, but I'm just not.
Dude, same with me, man. I mean, you're killing it here on these pencils and the writing, just the concept
Yeah,
work. It just looks
thank you.
great. But man, I envy people that could draw and write. I wish I could draw because I'd have a lot bigger wallet.
Yeah. Art's expensive. Like
Yeah,
it definitely puts a dent in your pocketbook, and that's
it's
that's the
worth it though.
benefit of being able to do both, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we'll wrap it up here. Doc Salem, guys,
Oh,
definitely check it
Salem.
out and back this book because he's got more in store for you. I could just tell by talking to Preston, this world is huge. I love the comparison of these monsters in hell being run like a mob with different territories. Really cool. And the I would back at the one that gives me the decoder, because that is really something we haven't seen in comics, in 50 years. So
Oh
you're
yeah, it's been a
decoding
while.
little messages in here. I can't wait to see that. So yeah, thanks for joining me, Preston. It was
Oh
great
no,
having you on here.
it's been awesome, dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks
it
for
was
having me.
thanks. Yeah, no problem, man. Any way you want to plug? Where can people find you?
Facebook, Art of Preston Asevedo on Facebook, Preston Asevedo on Instagram, and at Nikki the Pipe on Twitter. I'll put it
Sweet, man. Yeah,
in the stream, I
yeah.
guess.
We'll put that in the description afterwards.
Okay.
Really excited to see all your updates on, little sneak peeks of stuff in the future as your campaign goes along. You do still have 55 days, so
Yeah,
I'd
yeah, I got a little bit.
love to see this get fully funded. And yeah, check it out, guys. As for me, um, just go back Magic Cop. And if you guys are joining us for the first time, this is a show that I'm doing with new creators from now on. It's called Comics Great. And subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you know when we're going live every time we do a show. And thank you for watching. We will see you throughout the week with more videos. Have a great week, everybody.
Take it easy.
Bye.